Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Need your help on this one. Diddy's twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah, have been thrust into the spotlight amid their father's sex trafficking and racketeering trial. While some people view their presence as a testament to family loyalty, others like Danity Kane's Aubrey O'Day says it's emotionally exploitative. Yeah, so she ain't with it. People think that these girls are too young to be exposed to something like this. They're only 18 years old. They just celebrated prom. And man, they were going in on those girls. I'm talking about them like dogs. Yeah, your father is this and that. Yeah, the same thing's gonna happen to them. And they were cracking jokes about the girls going to a freak off after the prom. They were both were dressed in red, and they were showing their prom dates, toting them out of the prom venue. You know, they were carrying them, right? And, you know, people had all kinds of just demonic things to say. Man, you know, when did we as a society, and I'm talking about everybody, man, when did we as a society get to a point where we throw our youngsters under the bus? I'm like, we hard, man, we are hard. We talk about this generation, the current generation, a lot. But the generations before them are extremely hard on these kids. And we treat them like a monolith. We just put them all in one big pot, and we ain't got no love. And we wonder why there's such a huge disconnect. The huge disconnect is not the fault of the youngsters. It's not the fault of the current generation. It is the fault of the generations before, especially the one that's more immediate to the current generation. Because they're the ones who failed to teach the current generation the right way. So whatever they're doing wrong, they learned it from the generation that came before them. I'm not making an excuse for the youngsters who are out there clowning and acting a damn fool, because when you walk into that courtroom, the judge don't give a damn that you had a hard life. The judge don't care that you were physically assaulted, that you were beat up. They don't care nothing about your abuse. They don't care nothing about that you went hungry many nights. You were neglected. You were left alone in an abandoned house. They don't care nothing about that. All they know is you did this, you get that. That's it. But my point is, I think it's very hypocritical for us to go in so vehemently on the youngsters when, man, we did a lot of effed up things too. Yeah, some of the stuff these youngsters do is way out of pocket. I'm talking about way far away from some of the stuff we did. But we still messed up. And when we did mess up, keep in mind, we messed up more than the generation that came before us. That generation was not that critical of us. They were critical. Yeah, of course, every generation think they're better than the generation that comes after them. I get that, just like in sports. Everybody think the generation that came after them were less than. Whether you're a fan or whether you're a ball player, an artist, we all think the music we grew up on was the best. Our parents thought the music they grew up on was the best. Well, actually, I do too. But you catch my point, right? You're picking up what I'm putting down, right? Most people, when it comes to sports, they think the athletes they grew up on were better than the athletes who are currently doing it. That's just the way it is. And the trip part about it, for any youngsters who might be beating their chest right now, is that you got to be careful what comes out of your mouth. Because one of these days, you're going to be the previous generation. So the way you treat others who are your elders right now is going to be a reflection of what happens down the road to you. You can put that in your pipe and smoke it. I can guarantee you that. But man, they going hard on these girls. Talk about the sins of the father. They're saying that a lot of this stuff that's being said in court is inappropriate for these young, impressionable ears to hear. There is a lot of consideration for the girls, but man, I mean, the uncivilized mutts are at it. The uncivilized mutts are going hard on these girls. And it's totally unfair, but it's a reminder of what parents sign up for when they have children and they become celebrities, or even if they're not a celebrity, even if they just are out there as regular, normal people, if they mess around and get caught up in something that might embarrass the family, set the family back, that might call their character into question, it could trickle down and affect their children. In most cases, it will trickle down. You know how kids be like, yeah, I heard your mama got arrested. Your daddy is a rapist. Kids ain't got nothing to do with it, but they get the blame for it. Diddy daughters, they seem like decent girls because, you haven't heard anything crazy about them doing anything wild. The most criticism I've heard of them was they dress alike too much. Up until this trial. At first, people was just like, oh, they dress alike too much. Well, they are twins. And I also get it that they're grown now. They're 18 years old. Usually when you dress alike, that's kind of reserved for when you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9, maybe 10. But, start getting at 11 and 12, twins start trying to separate a little bit and have their own identity, just a little bit, right? But yeah, fam, boy, they going in on these girls, and that ain't cool. That's not cool at all. What do they expect for the girls to do? Not support their father? He need them actually now more than he ever need them, because he right now is facing his biggest battle right now. He's facing his biggest battle, and just the moral support that he gets from them, the energy, the lift that he gets from, the emotional lift that he gets from just looking around and seeing those familiar faces of people who really love him for real, in spite of. It's invaluable. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.